Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna talk about a little bit of some series that I'm on the fence of continuing. So one or other reason, I'm just not sure if I'm going to continue this series. Usually they're not the same thing, but yeah, I'm just gonna talk a little bit about that. Let's just get on with it. So the first one, it's actually only a duology, and it's the Wilderwood duology. I read For the Wolf. I think everyone that read that book knows that it kind of looks like a Riding Hood retelling. It's not. It's more like a Beauty and the Beast, but it's very weird. Also there's like a lot of blood, and not in the sense of of violence and of, I don't know, war stuff. The wolf, that it's not a wolf. It's not even a werewolf. It's a man. I don't remember if his parents, one of them was kind of supposed to be like a werewolf. I don't remember. I don't think it's that. I do remember that some of the beings that were like trapped in, they just call it hell. They used to call him Bob, and I was like, that's so cute, even though it's supposed to be an insult. But I was like, that's so cute. But yeah, he needs to use his blood all the time for a lot of spells and to keep these beings trapped. And that was just so exhausting. I don't know why, but I just didn't like that. And honestly, I don't remember much about this book. I remember the sisters. I love their sisterhood. It was just so nice how they wanted to keep each other safe. I remember this book has the one bed trope, but they don't use it. And what do I mean by this? At some point, they already have the one bed, and he's like, no, I'm gonna sleep in that corner of the room. He does sleep there. And then they like switch places. Like one night, one sleeps in the bed and the other goes to the corner. So at that point, I was like, why you do this to him? At least give them two beds if they're not gonna share. Yeah, I think that was a missed opportunity, but okay. And also something that I feel like that's probably the best scene is like the final battle. It was amazing. I remember I thought it was like cinematic. It's just fantastic. And the cliffhanger at the end, I was sure I was gonna continue with the next book. The next book came out last year, I think. I haven't picked it up. I know it's about Neve, and I don't remember if he was a prince, a king, I don't remember. But they want to get out of this hell. Yeah, I haven't heard best things about this. Thinking about the next book gives me nothing. But thinking about that cliffhanger, I was like, okay, maybe I picked it up. But like I said, I wasn't the biggest fan of the first book, but I guess something it did gave me like, okay, maybe not hope, but I was interested in seeing what is gonna happen. So yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna pick that one up or not. The next series is Wolfgar by Leila Stone. I read the first book, loved it. It was fantastic. So this story is about, she's a werewolf. Yeah. Her parents, they got kicked out of the pack. It's more of a civilized society. So they get kicked out of their city, and they have these like cuffs so they cannot shift. And she has them too. She didn't do anything bad. She has never been able to shift. She goes to this school where they have like witches, and I think they're vampires as well. She's a werewolf. I don't remember what else there is. But one day, she gets annoyed by something, but she's angry. And she's outside the school, and she, even with the cuffs, she kind of starts to shift. And she gets discovered by this guy. Little do they know, he's the son of the alpha of this community that they got kicked out. So what really is happening is that they have like this, let's call it trials. It's like The Bachelor, I think, because I've never seen The Bachelor, but I think it is like that. So they have like 30 girls, and he has to pick a bride. It was very nice, the first book. She gets selected for this, so she actually goes to this community. She gets picked up by like his guard, because since he is like the next alpha, he has like bodyguards and stuff. I love the bodyguards. Mainly because one of them is his cousin. Her name is Sage, and she's amazing. She kind of becomes like Demi's, who's the main character, best friend. You know, I really want to know what's gonna happen between her and Walsh, because I think there's a really good story there. He's I don't even remember his name, and I'm gonna explain that why. He's his best friend, and she's his cousin, and they're like, no, we cannot have this, but at the same time, they do want it. So yeah, I did enjoy the first book. Again, it did have a cliffhanger, and I was like, oh my god, I need to know what's gonna happen. I loved it. I read the second book, and honestly, I couldn't remember why I liked the first book. In this book, she's like kind of lost, and she needs to, she gets like kidnapped by vampires, I think. And she needs to make her way back home. The best part was when she's found actually by Sage and Walsh. The rest, it was so awful. There's this plot where outside this community there are other werewolves, and they're like savages, and yeah, they're like an issue for them. And she's actually have them, because her father is not her father. Well, they already knew that, but it was a surprise for her. Because they want to join them at some point. I don't know. I don't care. And mainly it's because, I don't know, I didn't enjoy the book. You do get to know some characters from this other pack, let's just call them a pack. And they were amazing. But the whole conflict, it was just annoying. So when she finally gets back, her parents are there, and this guy that I don't even remember his name, because I dislike him so much in this book. At some point he's like, oh yeah, I bought a house for your parents. And I was like, didn't they have a home before? Or they couldn't, I don't know, for some reason it annoyed me that he got them a house. Not that I don't want them to be comfortable, but I don't know, something annoyed me. So at the end of the book, I think she runs away. Well, it's not like she doesn't want anything anymore and runs away, but it's more of a, I need to go save them, the ones that are outside this community. And I don't remember anything about that. The only reason that I would continue this, it's because I've heard that the series gets better. That book 2 is like the lowest, it's just bad. But book 3 and 4 are good. But I don't know if book 1 good or just it wasn't as bad as book 2. So yeah, I don't know. And also, the only reason that I would continue this is because of Sage and Walsh. I need to know if they're gonna be together or not. So yeah, that's the second series. There's a lot of things why I wouldn't pick it up. And then there's just a couple tiny, very powerful that are pushing me to do it. So yeah. The next series, well, it's a trilogy, and it's Serpent and Dove by Shelby Mahurin. The thing is that I read Serpent and Dove, loved it with my heart. I love that book. I was going to pick up book 2, and I heard really bad reviews about it. Even book 3, I've heard that it was better than book 2, but it just, I didn't recover at all. Also in book 2, I've heard that they spend more time separate than together, even though it's a fantasy romance. Yeah, I don't know. Even from people that I know we have like similar taste, I've heard that they didn't like this book. So now I'm like, I don't know if I'm ever going to do that. Also, I know if it's kind of the beginning of something. I do like how book 1 ends. So if I'm gonna have to think that it's a standalone, I will. I don't even know if I'm gonna give it a shot to book 2. I might, but I think I'm gonna have to be in the full sense of I might DNF this book. I think that's what I'm gonna do about that one. So yeah, The next series I have it's Crown of Feathers. I do have the second book that is actually the one that I have to read. I do like the concept of the Phoenix Riders, and also I would like to know what's gonna happen between Veronica and her. I was gonna spoil something. And someone else. I did like the relationship with her and Tristan. Something that I'm not too fond of is this trope of the girl pretend to be a boy to be able to do something. I don't like it unless you're Mulan. I don't like it. And in book one, she had to do that. So I was like, hey, I'm not super fond of that. At least they knew who she was at the end. That's just one of the things I didn't like in book one. I know it's not gonna happen in book two, so. But I do remember that we had Veronica's point of view, Tristan's point of view, and other guys' point of view, and I didn't care for him like at all. And I've heard that in book two, he has even more presence than in book one. So that's just not very exciting for me. That's pretty much it. Literally because of one this character, because I don't remember he had magic or not. I think he didn't. But yeah, I remember not liking him. And I was like, just give me the phoenixes. I think it might be All Great Edition. And it is signed and everything, and I don't know, I think I should give it a shot. Maybe go like super quickly through these chapters of this guy that I don't like, but yeah, I might just give it a try. The next series I have is, I don't know how controversial is this going to be, but it's the Gracelyn Realm. I read this book for my Read Your Bookshelf challenge in February, I think. And it's just so weird. I liked it, and at the same time, I don't want to go back to this world. Does that make sense? I don't think so. There just got a couple of things in this book that I was like, that it got me thinking. But overall, I liked it. I really did. I liked the Gracelyn stuff. I like how they both connect with each other. I even like the fights, like physical fights. There are just some things, like you said, it's more of I think it's more of the characters that some stuff that didn't really make sense for me. And then again, there were some scenes that they were just amazing. I loved, especially the scene where Katsa gets Bitterbull through the mountains. I think I gave it 4 stars. I really liked it. And like I said, I don't feel like going back to the world. I don't know if it's because I might be book hangover, but yeah, I don't see myself going back. Also, I think it might be because I know the next book is not about Katsa and Poe. Also, there were some things that I feel like they were unanswered in this book, and I was like thinking, okay, maybe in Bitterblue they might be answered, but I don't know if I'm gonna go there. So yeah, so far I don't think I'm gonna continue the series, but we'll see. I might get the urge to pick up book 2 at some point. So yeah. And the last series that I say continue because I feel like it's one continuing line, but that is The Last Hours. I haven't read anything from The Last Hours. I actually have to start Chain of Gold, and I don't know if I'm going to. The thing is that I really should make a video about my history with Shadowhunters. But let's just talk about the series that is fully connected with this one, which is The Infernal Devices. I loved Clockwork Angel. Clockwork Prince, I was like, what? And Clockwork Princess, many people warned me, even on Goodreads, to, if you love the book, don't read the epilogue. And I didn't listen. And I read it. I don't like love triangles, and I thought that was going to be over. And even though she stayed with Will, because I love Will, I would have liked that Jem had his own story. And my problem with starting this one is that I wanted to read some things that there are in between the series. So I read The Fairy Tale of London, and it just got me like in a very sad mood. You know, the whole thing about Jem and Tessa and Will, I don't like it. And ever since I don't know, I think Clockwork Princess, maybe, I feel like Tessa doesn't really love Will, and he deserves everything. Even in this Fairy Tale of London, it's their wedding story, and I just didn't feel that. I was like, he deserves someone better. So yeah, I feel like I'm dragging my bitter taste from that to this series. Also, Cassandra Clare has an amazing talent for making me care about the characters and then making those characters do something I don't like. So it's very annoying. Some people say that this series is her best job so far. And then I saw someone that said like, no, those books, I hate those books. So I don't know where I'm gonna fall with this one. I feel like one of the worst things, because these books are mainly romance, is that you don't believe in the romance or in the couple. So that was what happened to me with Infernal Devices, and yeah, I don't know if that's gonna happen here as well. So yeah, that's why I'm on the fence to read this. And you cannot see it, but I do have Chain of Iron, so I feel like I should give them a shot. But if she's gonna make me angry, yeah, I don't know. So yeah, like I said, it's very bittersweet. I know Will is in this book, and let me get this straight, he's my only motivation. And I don't know, because I do the cliffhanger on Queen of Air and Darkness. I can't believe she wrote this before the next one. Because I do want to read those books, and I don't know if I have to read these ones first. I mean, they do have a lot of time in separation, but they usually have something here and there that it will be good for you to know. So yeah, I don't know. I still have to read these short stories like the Whitefields Chapel. I don't remember the name, but there are like 5 short stories that like you should read before this one. So I think I'm gonna read those, and then I'm gonna see what happens. Oh, and that's something I also remember. I've heard that James, Will and Tessa's son, he's a bit of an alcoholic. And that also doesn't do anything for me. So, yeah, I don't know. Well, I'm gonna read those short stories I was talking about, and then I'm gonna see if I actually go through this series or not. So, those were all the series. I don't know if I'm gonna continue. Let me know if you have some kind of recommendation, or if you have actually read this series and you think that I should give them a try. But yeah, that's all for today's video, and I guess I'll see you in the next one. Bye!